Over the last 48 hours, we have seen an incredible shift where Donald Trump has signaled that if only 200,000 people die of coronavirus in the United States, that would be considered a very good job. We are seeing such a goalpost move here that it might actually trick his followers because of how drastically the goalposts are being moved. I want to remind you, we have an incompetent, failed response to the virus. This has resulted in Trump's last tool, so to speak, which is gaslighting his followers so that they will hopefully forget that just a few weeks ago, Trump was talking about we've got 15 cases and that number will soon be zero. Other countries were acting like adults. They were preparing for the pandemic. Here is Trump Sunday saying, you know, if we end up with no more than 200,000 people dying, not cases, deaths, okay, that would be a very good job. And Trump sort of cleverly mentioning, you know, one estimate said 2.2 million might die. If we can keep it to 200,000 deaths, that would be a big, very good job that we did.
So you're talking about 2.2 million deaths, 2.2 million people from this. And so if we could hold that down, as we're saying, to 100,000, it's a horrible number. Maybe even less, but to 100,000. So we have between 100 and 200,000. We all together have done a very good job.
So recall that Trump tweeted on March 9th that this is nothing compared to the flu because the flu might kill 27,000 to 70,000 people, saying, quote, so last year, 37,000 Americans died from the common flu. It averages 27 to 70,000 per year. Nothing is shut down. Life and the economy go on. At this moment, there are 546 confirmed cases of coronavirus with 22 deaths. Think about that. Now, at the time, 22 deaths, now 3,000 and climbing in the United States. And the same Trump who said this isn't as bad as the flu, sometimes up to 70,000 die because of the flu each year, rarely, but sometimes, he's now saying if we stay below 200,000 deaths, not cases, we will have done a good job. Remember, here was Trump saying we have 15 cases and it will soon be zero.
We've done really an extraordinary job when you look at a country this size with so many people pouring in. We're the number one in the world for people coming into a country by far. And we have a total of 15 cases. And again, when you have 15 people and the 15 within a couple of days is going to be down to close to zero, that's a pretty good job we've done.
And now, if we don't lose more than 200,000 people, it means Trump did a very good job. This is a hell of a lot of deaths for something that 5 weeks ago was nothing and just the latest Democratic hoax. So it's really, really important that we don't take our eye off the ball. This is a pandemic. This is a tragedy. At some point, we will get past it. We will have some death toll. The latest estimates are about 83,000 for this wave. We could then have a second wave in the fall and another wave in 2021. We could get to 200,000 by the time it's all said and done. We don't know yet. But at some point, it's going to be done. We can't forget the incompetence and the lying and the deception and say, hey, we made it. Those of us that do make it, and hopefully as many of us as possible will be in that group, we have to remember that we've been led by one of the worst responses in the world to the virus. Maybe Iran did worse. I don't know. China lied a lot, sure. But look at how quickly South Korea developed and deployed a test. They had their first case on the same day we did. South Korea has 150 deaths total, not in one day, total. We have hundreds dying every day. It appears it will soon be thousands dying per day. We need to ensure that there is a consequence for Trump. And now this framing that he's doing of, listen, it's a big win if we keep the death toll to 200,000. He previously said we have a few cases. It will soon be none. We now are having potentially hundreds of thousands of deaths. We can't let him get away with it. His followers are going to. We can't. Enough of us have to remember that we need a change in November of 2020. so that he cannot get away with this. There are medical components here. There are social, cultural components here, economic. There are so many considerations, but we've been failed by the Trump administration, and there has to be a consequence for that. I don't know if there will be, but I hope there is.